Ladies and gentlemen, the clock does not stop. The world does not wait. And your dreams? They are not suspended in some distant future. They live, or they die, by what you choose to do today. There is a truth that separates the successful from the forgotten, the fulfilled from the frustrated. That truth is simple. Your future is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. You see, every great legacy begins not with an explosion, but with a whisper, a decision made in silence, a habit built in solitude, a discipline born from daily repetition. The destiny you're craving isn't hidden in tomorrow's opportunities. It is hidden in today's actions. The one quality that separates the drifter from the driven, the average from the exceptional, is definiteness of purpose. A man without a purpose is like a ship without a rudder, tossed by the tides of distraction, circumstance, and other people's agendas. He goes where life pushes him, not where he chooses to go. And yet we often make the mistake of thinking that purpose is something that arrives later, something we discover down the road. Once we've gained more experience, once we've read more books, once we've stumbled into success, that is an illusion. Purpose is not discovered, it is declared. And that declaration is not made tomorrow, it is made today. The tragedy of life is not that people aim too high and miss, it is that they aim too low and hit. Worse still, many aim at nothing at all. They wake up, go through the motions, and hope that someday fortune will find them. But purpose does not come to those who wait. It comes to those who decide. And every great decision begins with a moment of honesty, the kind of honesty that requires you to look yourself in the mirror and ask, what am I here to do? That question is not philosophical. It is practical. Because once you answer it, everything else aligns. Your actions take shape. Your distractions fall away. Your habits begin to serve you rather than sabotage you. But none of this happens by accident. It happens because today, not tomorrow, you made a choice to live intentionally. Most people are not suffering from a lack of ability. They are suffering from a lack of aim. Talent without direction is wasted. Time without purpose is squandered. Life without intention is endured, not lived. That is why it is not enough to hope. Hope is passive, it waits. But definiteness of purpose is active, it acts. When you choose your purpose today, you are not just deciding what to do. You are deciding who to become. That is the power of now. Your future self is built in this moment, and that construction begins with clarity. Not perfect clarity, but enough to take the first step. You may not see the entire path, that is fine, but you must see the next step. And you must take it with boldness, because action breeds clarity, and clarity fuels momentum. With every decision rooted in your purpose, you begin to strip away the noise. You stop chasing everything and start building something. You stop running from fear and start walking toward destiny. There is a truth that cannot be ignored. Until you know what you want, you will never know what to do. And until you decide today, you will drift into another wasted day, another wasted week, another wasted year. Purpose is not something you find at the end of the road. It is something you choose to carry from the very start. And that start is now. The greatest achievements in life are not born from one grand moment of inspiration, but from countless ordinary moments handled with extraordinary consistency. Success, contrary to popular belief, is not a lightning bolt that strikes the lucky. It is a fire built slowly, one spark at a time, through small daily acts that compound over time into an unbreakable force called discipline. It is easy to look at the lives of great men and women and assume they had something special, some advantage, some genius some secret. But if you peel back the layers, what you'll find is that at the core of their success was not just talent or intellect, but the quiet, relentless commitment to doing what needed to be done, even when they didn't feel like doing it. Binyatin do. Discipline is not dramatic, it is not glamorous, but it is powerful beyond measure, and it is forged in the small moments most people overlook. You wake up when the alarm rings instead of pressing snooze. You spend 10 minutes reading something that feeds your mind instead of scrolling through distractions. You hold your tongue when you feel anger rise and choose patience instead. You complete a task you promised yourself you would finish even though no one is watching. These are not small things. These are everything. Because every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how minor it may seem, you cast a vote for the person you are becoming. And those votes add up. Slowly, imperceptibly at first, but eventually they shape a character that does not fold under pressure. They build a willpower that does not break when tested. They produce a level of self-respect that cannot be bought, only earned. Discipline is not about feeling motivated. Motivation comes and goes like the wind. Discipline is about making a promise to yourself and keeping it. It is the daily handshake between your present self and your future self. It is the proof that you are serious about your goals, not because you said them out loud, but because you live them in silence when no one else is around. People wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect strategy. But what they need is the perfect habit. The habit of action, the habit of completion, the habit of consistency. Your mind is not strengthened by what you think about doing, but by what you actually do. And it is not the big wins that train your mind, but the repeated victories over small temptations. You will not become strong by accident. You will not become focused by luck. These are rewards given to those who honor the little things. Because the truth is this, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And if you can master your mornings, your meals, your thoughts, your words, your promises, then you can master your destiny. What you do daily is more powerful than what you do occasionally. And those small acts done consistently will turn your discipline into a weapon the world cannot bend. Time is the one resource granted equally to all, yet used so differently by each. It cannot be saved, paused, or stored. It cannot be bargained with or bribed. It moves forward silently and steadily, with or without your permission. And how you use it determines whether time becomes your most loyal servant or your most ruthless master. Most people treat time casually, as if they have an unlimited supply. They squander hours in idleness, waste days in indecision, and lose years drifting from one distraction to the next. They speak of their dreams as though they are far-off destinations, waiting for some mysterious right moment to begin. But time waits for no one. It does not care how sincere your intentions are. It only responds to what you do with it. The man who understands this does not delay. He does not say someday because he knows that someday is a lie. He says now because now is the only moment under his control. Every minute he owns is a tool to be sharpened, used, and respected. He knows that the minutes he wastes are not coming back, and he understands this truth. You can either master your time, or you can be mastered by it. But time neglected becomes cruel. It exposes laziness. It magnifies regret. It punishes procrastination not with a whip, but with the slow, painful erosion of potential. Nothing stings more than looking back and realizing how much was lost, not through misfortune, but through misuse. Opportunities were not stolen, they were ignored. Dreams were not destroyed, they were delayed until they disappeared. The successful understand that time is not something to be filled. It is something to be used. They guard it like treasure because they know it is more valuable than gold. Gold, after all, can be replaced. Time cannot. Each day is a blank check, and how you spend it writes the story of your life. Every morning presents a choice. Will you invest your time in your vision, or will you trade it for convenience? Time reveals the truth. It shows you what you really value. You may say you want success, but if your hours are spent on comfort, entertainment, and distraction, then success is just a fantasy. What you do with your time speaks louder than what you say with your words. Time does not lie. It reflects your discipline, your priorities. Your will understand this deeply. Time is never the issue. It is how you relate to it that determines your destiny. Use it with intention, and it will reward you. Waste it, and it will rule you. Life operates by laws, and one of the most powerful among them is the law of sowing and reaping. You cannot escape it, outsmart it, or rush it. It governs everything, from success in business to relationships, character, and the pursuit of greatness. Every thought you entertain, every action you take, every habit you reinforce is a seed being planted. And while the harvest does not come overnight, it comes without fail. The question is not whether you will reap, but what you will reap. That depends entirely on the seed you are planting now. There are no shortcuts to a meaningful harvest. No farmer sows his seed one morning and expects to gather a full crop by nightfall. He understands the seasons. He respects the process. He knows that preparation, patience, and persistence are not optional. They are essential. So too must you recognize that what you do today sets in motion the results of tomorrow. Your current habits, your present mindset, your willingness to do the hard and often unseen work, these are the seeds of your future success or your future regret. Too many people want the fruit without the planting. They want the rewards without the labor. They want the results without enduring the season of growth. But life does not honor wishful thinking. It honors those who understand the law and work within it. If you neglect today, you have no claim to tomorrow. If you are careless with your choices, you cannot cry over the consequences. The man who sows discipline will reap strength. The one who sows focus will reap clarity. The one who sows generosity will reap loyalty. And the one who sows effort day by day, regardless of applause, will reap mastery. It may not happen when he wants it. It may not even happen when he expects it. But it will happen, because nature does not forget what you have planted. You must begin to see each day as sacred ground, rich with potential and ready for planting. What are you feeding your mind? What words are you speaking into your life? What relationships are you cultivating? These things are not random, they are seeds. And in time they will grow, often larger and more powerful than you imagine. There is also a danger in planting the wrong seed. Complaints, excuses, distractions, these are weeds. They take root quickly and choke out the growth of your potential. The longer you allow them to remain, the harder they are to remove. That is why vigilance is essential. You must guard your garden. You must protect your mind. You must be intentional with what you allow to take root in your daily life. Every day offers you the same silent question: what will you plant? The answer to that question will echo in the days, months, and years ahead, because make no mistake, your future is not found, it is grown. And what you plant now will either bless you or burden you when the harvest arrives. There is a thief that steals more dreams than failure ever could. It does not come with noise or fury. It does not shout or alarm. It whispers. It waits. It convinces you that tomorrow is a better time to begin. That thief is procrastination, the silent killer of greatness. It does not destroy in a single blow, but in slow, invisible strokes. It creeps into your habits, weakens your resolve, and dulls your ambition until the fire you once had becomes a flicker barely seen. Procrastination is deceptive because it wears the mask of reason. It tells you you're not ready yet. It suggests you wait until the timing is right, until you feel more motivated, until your circumstances improve. But that day never comes, because procrastination is not a delay of action, it is a surrender of purpose. It is the slow, daily decision to choose comfort over growth, ease over effort, distraction over discipline. Greatness demands urgency. It does not require perfection. It requires presence. And presence can only exist in this moment, right now. Every time you delay a decision, every time you postpone an action, you rob yourself of progress. You trade momentum for stagnation, and opportunity slips away, not with a bang, but with silence. Those who rise to the top are not necessarily the most talented or the most gifted. They are those who have mastered the art of beginning now. They understand that momentum is not something you wait for. It is something you generate. Action creates clarity. Action builds confidence. Action is the antidote to doubt. The habit of procrastination, on the other hand, feeds uncertainty. The longer you wait, the more the task grows in your mind. Happens. What was once simple becomes overwhelming. What was once possible becomes impossible, not because it changed, but because you changed by doing nothing. Procrastination thrives in the absence of vision. When you are not clear about what you want, it is easy to do nothing. But when your purpose is burning, when your goals are defined, procrastination has no room to survive. That is why the first step in defeating it is deciding who you want to become. Once you are committed to that image, once you refuse to betray your future self, you will no longer tolerate delay. Understand this. The cost of procrastination is not just time. It is dignity. It is potential. It is the life you could have lived if only you had acted when the moment called for it. Too many people go to their graves with their best work unwritten, their best ideas unshared, and their highest self never awakened, not because they failed, but because they never began. You must train your mind to respond with urgency, not panic, with commitment, not excuse. When an idea comes, act. When a task appears, face it. When fear rises, move through it. Each time you choose action over hesitation, you break the grip of procrastination. You send a message to your subconscious mind, I am not here to wait, I am here to win. You cannot conquer what you tolerate, and if you tolerate delay, you invite defeat. Life rewards the bold, not the hesitant. While others hesitate, you must begin. While others think, you must do. While others plan endlessly, you must execute relentlessly. Every moment of hesitation is a missed opportunity. Every delayed action is a forfeited advantage. Every excuse is a brick in the wall separating you from your destiny. Tear it down with action. Build your greatness with movement. And remember always, procrastination does not need to defeat you loudly. It only needs your permission to wait. Don't give it. Move now. The future belongs to those who act. Each morning you rise is a silent gift, a clean slate, a blank page waiting for your hand to write the next chapter of your story. No matter who you were yesterday, no matter what you failed to do or what regrets you carried, when the sun rises, life extends to you a sacred invitation. Begin again. But how you begin determines how you live. The man who starts his day without intention is like a writer letting the wind guide his pen. There is movement, but no meaning. You must never underestimate the power of your mornings, for it is in those early hours that your mind is most open, most vulnerable, and most capable of being shaped. The thoughts you choose, the words you speak to yourself, the actions you take, They do not merely fill your time, they forge your identity. The first moments of your day are not routine. They are creation. They are where direction is chosen, decisions are planted, and character is either built or broken. Most people stumble into their mornings. They wake up reacting, rushing, complaining, scrolling through distractions, consumed by urgency but lacking clarity. They let the world write their page before they've picked up the pen. But those who understand the law of purpose do not begin that way. They begin in stillness. They begin with a decision. They begin by asking the question that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. What am I building today? Your goals are not achieved in a single leap. They are achieved through hundreds of intentional mornings. A man who commits himself to just one purposeful action each day will over time build more than the one who waits for the perfect time to act. That is because greatness is not found in bursts, it is found in rhythm. And rhythm is born from routine. Your morning must not be left to chance. It must be claimed. When you rise, you are not simply waking up your body. You are awakening your mind, your spirit, your will. That first thought you allow to enter sets the tone. That first task you complete sets the standard. That first hour, free from noise, is when you plant the seeds that the rest of your day will harvest. If you begin with distraction, expect a day of disorder. But if you begin with clarity, watch how order and energy follow you. Write each day with purpose. Speak life into your goals. Move forward with conviction, not hesitation. And understand deeply that the page you write today will be read by the person you become tomorrow. That is the real weight of a morning. It is the author of your future. No page writes itself. No life leads itself. You must take the pen. You must lead your life. Begin each morning not by remembering who you were, but by deciding who you will be. And act like it. Speak like it. Move like it. That is how pages turn into chapters, and chapters into legacies. As you stand at the beginning of each new day, remember that your future is not some distant abstract concept. It is being created by what you do today. Every decision, every action, and every thought carries the power to shape the life you will live tomorrow. The seeds you plant now will grow into the fruits of your success, or they will bear the consequences of your procrastination. Time, your most loyal or ruthless servant, waits for no one, and it rewards those who use it wisely. The power to create the life you desire is not reserved for a select few. It lies within your hands, within the choices you make in the quiet moments of your day. Discipline, intention, and purpose are not lofty ideals. They are practical tools that, when wielded daily, will carve the path to your dreams. The habits you form today determine the person you become tomorrow. If you choose to start with clarity, to act with urgency, to make the most of your mornings, you are already halfway to your greatness. So do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for things to fall into place. Start now, and start with purpose. Write your story every day with intention, and understand that greatness is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice, repeated with consistency. Your future is created by what you do today. Make today count.